as well as projecting how they will do in 2020. Ezekiel Elliott's average annual salary of $15 million led the way for the Cowboys, and the article cited Zeke's drop-off in rushing yards, averaging only 84 game last season compared to never dipping below 95 in his first 3 seasons in the league. Shannon, do you agree?
No, not even close. Zeke is paid like a top 5 back because Zeke is a top 5 back. Amari's contract. Amari's the most overpaid. He makes $20 million. He's second highest paid behind Julio Jones in average salary. He's not even close to a top 5 receiver. Not even close. Skip, I look, first of all, and we go back and forth, and I said for me, Julio is the best receiver. And they had my top 3 in the order in which I had them. I had Julio, Mike Thomas, and D Hop. But for somebody to have Julio Jones as the 7th best receiver, Skip, so now I don't even want the list anymore. But Skip, when you look at Amari Cooper, and there's something going on here. Because John Gruden got off it. Because what we see is we'll see an incredible high. We'll see a guy go get 200 and 2 touchdowns. And then he'll follow that up with 150 on a touchdown. And then he'll get another 100. And then he steps off a cliff. Skip, 0 catches against New England. He had 4 catches on 12 targets against Philly in Week 16. Over the last 7 games, he had 1 total touchdown, averaged less than 50 yards. And you telling me that's a receiver that deserves $20 million a year? That's not even close. Zeke is a top 5 back, paid like a top 5 back. I can name 8, 9, 10, 11 receivers that I will take right now over Amari Cooper. It's Amari Cooper is the most overpaid on the Cowboys, and it's not close.
Amari at Jets last year, game you're rooting for up in Mile High in the owner's box, right?
I was.
You're rooting against my Cowboys.
I did.
He has some minor knick-knack injury after his first catch, pulls himself out and doesn't play again, then goes home against Philly and just lights them up the next week. Don't give me that. And then at New England, he waved out of the game because he couldn't get open against Stephon Gilmore.
Locked him up.
He just went over and pouted on the sidelines. I just can't beat him.
Right.
Can't beat him today. And then at Philly, it's the game of the year. Do or die, sink or swim for the division. Jason Garrett yanked him down the stretch because he was running half-hearted routes. And that guy got $20 million because they were afraid the rival Redskins were going to jump on him and sign him. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I do agree with that one. And by the way, the harder I looked, I'm glad this question was asked because it made me look hard at these deals last night.
Right.
Zeke's contract is not that overpaid.
No,
it's not that favorable to Zeke, actually.
No.
It's really not that much compared to DeMarcus Lawrence's contract. I think D. Law's contract is right there with Amari's for the most overpaid because he got 5 years, 105. He got $21 million, so he's a little above Amari.
Right.
$21 million to Zeke's $15 million a year, and his is 1 year less. That's a 5-year versus a 6-year for Zeke.
Right. And
the guaranteed money, and it's the one guaranteed at signing, the real guarantee. Right. D-Law got 48 guaranteed to Zeke's 28. Well, it's like twice the contract, right? In the end, and if you look at him compared to the other edge rushers, he's just barely behind at 21. He's barely behind Aaron Donald at 22.5, and then Khalil at 23.5. He's in the ballpark. Last year, he was career lows across the board.
Right.
He was kind of a no-show last year for that kind of money.
And it's Skip, at least Zeke went to the Pro Bowl.
He did.
And by all metrics, Zeke, when you look at Zeke and you talk to people around the league, Zeke doesn't drop out of the top 5 when it comes to running backs.
No.
Skip, nobody has Amari Cooper in the top 5. I don't believe anybody's going to have, as far as D lineman, would have D Law. But for me, Amari, Skip, not showing up in these big games. And Skip, we've seen that over his career. We'll see incredible highs.
It is why John Gruden said, I can't live with this because his motor doesn't run consistently hot enough for John. And if he can get a first back, which he did, that'll work.
Skip, over 7 games, 1 touchdown, and average less than 50 yards per game that's almost half a season.
Okay, but against Philly at home and Minnesota at home, go check those tapes.
Yes.
Because you see top 5, but you can't expand it over the whole year.
Skip,
right?
And one general manager said there's something holding him back. One NFL personnel man said he was the best receiver on the market, and I didn't want to sign him.
Okay, now for my biggest, baddest fear of all. If Dak does get $42-ish million, I'm afraid he will be a candidate for most overpaid next year because I don't think he can live up to that kind of money. I don't. You do not. You give him F's every so.
Hey, he earned those grades. I mean, what kind of professor I would do is if I just hand out willy-nilly grades like you didn't deserve it. I mean, I'm a good professor. I give you the assignment.
Flunked him.
Skip, I give you the assignment. I pass out the assignment. You pass it back in. It's my job to critique it.
Oh.
And when I passed out the assignment, 16 assignments.
Okay.
And he failed half of them.
He failed half of them and give him $42 million.
Very inconsistent, Professor Shannon. I feel like it changes every week. Speaking of the Cowboys, guys, we got to look at rookie CeeDee Lamb wearing that number 88 jersey. And you know what? Look pretty good. We'll show you next.